Let's talk to God. One more thing, like, subscribe and share. Come on, let's talk to God. Woo!
Come on and let's talk to Cutler. Hey everybody, it's Cutler here on the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler vlog, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club. And it is another week, and here we are. It's Tuesday, and I'm so happy to see some of y'all. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be alive. Is anybody happy other than me? You're just glad about life? I don't know about you, but I'm just glad about life. I really, really am. I'm glad about life, all that comes with it, all that it entails, all of those things. So I'm thankful that you all are here with me. I want to tell you this channel is about inspiration, it's about motivation, it's about seeing what we can do to show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. For the past few days, I've been here in this office, and so there's a fax machine combo behind me, and it may ring you all. It did. It rang the last time I was here, and but I just ignored it, kept on going. It's a metaphor of life. Sometimes you've got to ignore the noise. You all know I can find a metaphor and a lesson out of everything that says sometimes you've got to ignore the noise and keep right on going. But I'm thankful for those of you who have been with me for the long haul, those of you who have been just with me for a while. I'm thankful for that. Tell somebody, come on and let's talk this evening, because I want to talk about how not to give up. I want to talk about, pushing through and seeing your way and persevering and all of that. So I want to say thank you all again. This channel is about motivation, it's about inspiration, it's about just taking a moment to have a conversation and see what nugget can I gain maybe from the day or from this conversation to say, I want to be better tomorrow. And I'm hoping that this conversation will give me some nugget. It is always my hope, and can I tell you, it is always my prayer that I say something that will lift, encourage, inspire, motivate, or even challenge us from time to time. So I hope that's what's going on. If you haven't done so, please go ahead and subscribe. Then click on the notification bell. It lets you know whenever I've gone live and whenever I uploaded new content. I haven't done that in a while, so I just might need to go live and just see if you all are checking in on me. All right. Once you do, come on in the chat room, click on the thumbs up conversation. It lets YouTube know that you are okay, that you like the conversations that we're having. It does not, may I say this? It does not necessarily mean that you agree with everything that I say. I've listened to content sometimes, and this is just a confession on my part. This is just a transparent moment. Sometimes I've listened to content and I did not necessarily agree with the content itself, but I like the fact that the conversation was had. I like the fact that the conversation made me think. How many of you have ever been in conversations and you did not come out with the same opinion as the person who you were in conversation with, but you appreciated the fact that you had the conversation? That's why I ask you to sometimes just give a thumbs up, because it encourages me. It lets me know that at least I'm saying something that is thought-provoking. That's the word. It doesn't mean that you agree with everything, but at least it's thought-provoking and it's not offensive. All right, I want to shout out the LTTC VIPs. LTTC VIPs. Those are the Let's Talk to Cutler, very important people. Everybody's important, but I just like to shout out people who just get in this competition, see if they can get in the chat room first. So let me just do a quick shout out to them, and then we'll get started with our conversation. All right, let's say hello to Annie Cutler, who says, get aboard, let's ride. That's right, we're all on this highway together. We're all riding down this highway together. So that's what we're doing. Our good friend Jet Sheely makes sure, always speaks to everybody. I like the fact that Jet comes in and speaks to everybody. So I love that. And then let's see, coming in third is our good friend Mick Diana, who says, good evening all. Well, good evening to you too, my friend. Good evening to everybody. Well, let's go ahead and get started. And I'll tell you, I always like to give you all the impetus behind the conversation. If I'm not just coming out of one of my books, which, they're all there on Amazon. 6 of the 7 are there on Amazon.com. So if you're interested in any of my books, just go on over there, excuse me, and pick up any of them, Amazon.com, and look for Gregory Brad Cutler, and you'll find my books. But if I'm not coming out of one of the books, I like to give you the genesis, the origin, the impetus, the catalyst, the motivation behind the conversation. Excuse me. I was recently asked to be a personal trainer. Can you believe that? Me, the personal trainer. But anyway, I was recently asked to just to serve as an accountability partner for someone. So somewhat as kind of like a personal trainer. And I know from the days when during, especially in the throes of COVID, was not moving. I had put on a few extra pounds or, several extra pounds, and I wanted to get rid of them. And what I know from my experience is that I had to work hard. I had to be consistent. I had to endure and had to persevere. And I'm back on, not that I've gained weight, but I'm back on the track of just walking more, doing my routine daily walks, doing all of that. And of course, there were thunderstorms here in the area, and I decided that I would wait until the rain just kind of dissipated before I went out to walk. So I said to the person who wanted me to be an accountability partner, all right, we got to get up, we got to go. We got to get up, we got to go. And she said, well, no, can we wait? It's raining, da, da, da. And I said, no, we got to go. We can wait. When the rain stops, let's go. We'll just keep on walking. And so she insisted on not going. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just take a break. Maybe I just won't go. And I almost called this conversation. I started to call this conversation, I almost gave up. But then I realized, you know what? I've got to keep going. I've got to keep going. And that is what provoked me to have this conversation. Have you all ever been in the middle of a serious goal? You all tell me if I'm on track with the conversation at all. If you or someone who has ever found themselves in this space, you've been in the middle of a serious goal, something that was important to you, something that really meant something. And you had this mindset, the mindset that says, oh, I need to take a break. Please just let me take a break. Or you had the mindset that says, this is harder than I thought it would be. You all tell me if these comments resonate with you at all. If these comments resonate with you, if they resonate with you at all. Ever been in the space where you said, why is it taking so long for me to meet my goal? What is going on? Or have you ever been in the space that says, I'm getting nowhere with this? Why am I even bothering? You all tell me if any of this, if you've ever had these thoughts when you set a goal, when you cast a vision. Tell me if you know people, if this has ever been you. Because what I realized was just today, I almost gave up and said, I'm going to take a break. That the first thing that I share with you all, that I said to myself, I need to take a break. Has any of you ever said that? Or you keep saying, or you've said to yourself, I keep failing at this goal. Or you've said, I can't do this. What was I thinking? This conversation is for you. This conversation is for you. If you have ever had any of those thoughts, this conversation, my good friend Sylvia, you said, yes, I have. Sylvia, you're not alone. I know I have. Paula says, yes. I'm telling you, you are not alone. I had the thoughts today. And if you've ever had these thoughts at all, or you know somebody who've had these thoughts, then please share this conversation. Share this with them. Just send them the link after we're done and tell them, you all really should come on and talk to Cutler, or you should just hear this broadcast. You've said things like, I need to take a break. Knew you were doing something serious. Knew you were doing something worthwhile. Knew you were doing something that required effort or tenacity, but you said, I need to take a break. This is harder than I thought it would be. Why is this taking so long? Why am I not getting my goal? Why am I getting nowhere with this? I keep failing at this. I can't do this. What was I thinking? I want to offer us a few strategies to not give up. And this comes from reaching within and saying, what would I want someone to tell me? When I know I have a goal and I know it is a goal worth reaching, what would I want someone to tell me so that I don't give up? What would be helpful? And may I share with you the things that I think are helpful? One of the things that I want to say to you is change your mind. A strategy for not giving up is change your mind. I mean, literally change your mind. Your mind controls what you say. Your mind controls how you respond. A lot of times you cannot help what comes into your mind, but you can always control how you process it. And so what would I offer us tonight? Counteract those negative thoughts. Literally change your mind. Whatever the negative thought that came into your mind, change your mind. That's when you tell yourself, I'm not giving up. It has to be a mindset first. Tell yourself, I'm not giving up. I have the end in mind. I see myself in that goal. I see myself in that space. I see myself having achieved. I see myself having obtained. I see myself having attained. I see myself across the victory line. I see myself in the winner's circle. So sometimes you've just got to change your mind and say, yep, that's it. I see myself at the finish line. And that's what I'm encouraging us this evening. I'm encouraging those of us who will catch the replay. Change your mind. Learn how to counteract those negative thoughts. Say to yourself, I'm not going to sabotage my success. Say to yourself, comfort and convenience are not my goal. Success is my goal. One quote says, something or things worth having are not always easily accomplished. Comfort and convenience are not the goal. Success, winning, obtaining, achieving, those are the goals. You can rest in comfort and convenience after the fact, but don't sabotage your success. All right. So the first thing I would suggest to us this evening is just change your mind. And I know, can I tell you all, I know that's easier said than done. But many times you have to rehearse, you have to really meditate on those things and say to yourself, I can do it. It's almost like the little train that was going up the hill and kept saying, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can. And eventually he'd chug a lug right on up the hill, the little train that could. Change your mind, change your mindset and say, all right, when something negative comes in, let me counteract that. Let me change it. So that's the first thing that I would suggest. Y'all know I'm only here for 1,800 seconds, so I just need to keep moving on. But let me know what you think about that whole notion of changing your mind. Does it help? Do you sometimes have to talk to yourself? I don't know about you all, but I'm okay with talking to myself. I'm okay with talking to my unsure self. I'm okay with talking to my not knowing self. I'm okay with talking to my sometimes doubting self. I'm okay talking with my sometimes wanting to give up self. I'm okay with talking to myself. I'm okay with it. Not to the point where they have to come in and put me in a white straitjacket or anything, but to the point of saying to myself, oh, yes, you can. You can do this. You're worth it. Look, start with the end in mind. See yourself across the finish line. You literally can change your mind. Got these thoughts, yeah, but guess what? I'm changing my mind. So let me just keep on going. I hope that's helping somebody. And then may I suggest to you something else that I would suggest is that you follow someone else who has done it. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you all know I just almost went into full preacher mode. But it's in me. Scripture says, mark the perfect man. It can go for woman too. Mark the perfect person. That means look at someone who has done what you're trying to do. Watch others who have accomplished, who have achieved, who have obtained, who have succeeded, who have persevered. And don't just look at their success, but as you get close to them, look at their struggles, look at their hurdles so that they don't catch you by surprise. Every goal, every success, every victory, along with it comes some hurdle. I don't know of any successes that I've ever had in life that came without some kind of hurdle. So when you look at someone else who has done what you are trying to do, don't just look at their success, but may I encourage you to look at their struggles and look at their hurdles so that you won't be hoodwinked and you won't think that it just came so easily. I told us before in a conversation that sometimes we look on social media and people will post all kinds of great pictures. I think I told you at one time I was looking just for a decent profile picture, and it took me about 35 times to get one decent picture. When you look at people's story, when you look at their success, also look at their struggles and hurdles so you will not be hoodwinked. But when you look at someone else, when you mark the perfect man or the perfect woman, when you set them as your example, not that you envy them or become jealous of them, but they become as the young folks say, they become your goals. When you find somebody like that, it helps you to build a resolve. You become resolute. What does that word mean, Cutler? It's like New Year's time. We hear people saying, for the new year, we hear people building or who making New Year's resolutions. I resolve to do this. I'm determined to do this. So resolve means just determination. So you build this resolve or you build this determination because they did it. I'm setting them as my goal because they did it. They told me about the hurdles. They told me about the struggles. They told me about the downfalls. They told me about all this, but they also showed me, they modeled for me what it is to accomplish, achieve, obtain, succeed, and persevere. Got to keep on going, you all. So first thing I would encourage is change your mind. The second thing, follow someone else who has done what you're trying to do. And the next thing, you all don't laugh at me when I say this, but the next thing I would encourage you to do is to join NMGA. Join NMGA. What does that stand for, Cutler? It stands for Not Meeting My Goals Anonymous. It's almost like people who find themselves dealing with alcoholism, they would join AA, or narcotics, they would join NA. So I'm creating this space, this place that is called, this fictional organization that is called NMGA, Not Meeting My Goals Anonymous. Has anybody else other than me ever been a part of NMGA? I have. So I have something for us this evening. Why would I say join NMGA? Because not that I've ever had to go to AA, and I certainly don't knock anybody who has ever gone to any kind of support group. Let me just put that out there first. Let me just pause and say I am not downplaying it. I'm just really doing a parody of it and pulling from AA. So I certainly don't knock anybody who has ever gone to any anonymous organization like AA. Do what you need to do to make you whole and to make you better. One of the things I understand about Alcoholics Anonymous or AA is that they will give you a sponsor. And you have to learn to call your sponsor so that your sponsor can talk you out of those moments when you want to take a drink. And when you're in that moment when you want to take a drink, it's my understanding that your sponsor will talk you off the ledge and will talk you out of giving up. So that is why I encourage us. When you have goals and you don't want to give up on your goals, join NMGA, Not Meeting My Goals Anonymous, and find yourself a sponsor. Somebody that you can talk to, somebody that you can that you can confide in, somebody that you can take counsel from and take advice from when you're in those moments of wanting not to meet your goals. And they would talk you off the ledge and say, nope, you got to get up, you got to keep going. Learn to talk to them about what's difficult. Talk to them about your apprehensions. Talk to them about your weaknesses. Talk to them about your fears. A lot of times we don't meet our goals because we have apprehensions, we have fears, we have difficulties that we're facing, and we have weaknesses that we have to contend with. And we don't like, can I tell you this, y'all? We don't like to talk about our difficulties. We don't like to talk about our apprehensions. We don't like to talk about our weaknesses, and we don't like to talk about our fears. But as we would say, the devil is a liar. I'm going to find somebody that I can trust, somebody that I can believe in, somebody that I can confide in, and talk to them about it. And just as one would not do with the sponsor over in AA, you sometimes you don't call. But I encourage us, resist the urge not to call. And when you call, here's what I encourage you to do. Listen to what they have to say. There was a reason why you chose them as a sponsor. There's a reason why you chose them as an accountability partner. There's a reason why you chose to trust in them. There's a reason why you chose to believe in them. Call your sponsors. So I metaphorically and proverbially create what I call Not Meeting My Goals Anonymous. And I say membership is open to anybody who watches now, who's watching now, catching the replay. And why do I say that? Because I want us all to find a sponsor. Find somebody who you know will not let you rest on your laurels, will not let you rest, will not let you take a break, but will push you when you need pushing and pull you when you need pulling, poke you when you need poking, and prod you when you need prodding. That's what sponsors do. And they do it from a place of love and concern because they believe in you. I got to keep moving, you all. But yeah, absolutely. Make sure that you find somebody that you get an accountability partner. Always good to see it's always great to see my good friend Auntie from Aunties Advice channel for women. Auntie, I'm talking about how not to give up. Because sometimes we give up. Sometimes we have the mindset and we think, how did I get here? What am I doing? And I'm talking about the strategies for not giving up. Strategies for not giving up. One of the things I said we've got to do is literally change our minds. We have to counteract negative thoughts. The next thing I said is that we have to follow someone else who has done what we want to do, what we're trying to do. And not only watch their accomplishments, but look at their struggles and their hurdles as well, so that we're not caught hoodwinked or blindsided. And then the next thing I say is do like people do in AA. Of course, I'm calling this NMGA, not meeting my goals anonymous, but find a sponsor that you trust, that you confide in, who won't let you sit down and give up. Find somebody who believes in you, so that the moments when you don't believe in yourself, they say, you know what, I believe in you. And I believe there's more in you than you see in yourself in the moment. I am so thankful that there have been people in my life who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Do any of you have people who have believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself? Who saw better in you when you didn't see it in yourself? Who saw more in you when you thought less of yourself? I'm thankful for those people who are in my life. Some of them now sleep and rest eternally, but I am so thankful that there have been people in my life, people along my journey who pushed me and said, we're not going to give up on you. And we're not going to let you give up on yourself. Do you all have people in your life like that? If you do, be thankful for them. And if they're still around, call them, write them, text them, communicate with them and say, I just want to say thank you because you didn't let me give up when I wanted to give up on myself. And then can I tell you another strategy for not giving up? Make sure that you remember. Make sure that you remember your purpose. Some people today, they're calling it, make sure you connect with the why, but make sure you remember your purpose or your why. Remember why you're doing what you do. Remember why you set that thing, that place, that condition. Remember why you set that as a goal. Why was this important to me? Can I tell you this? We don't set goals for frivolous reasons. And if you do, maybe you need to recast your vision or reset some of your goals. But typically, we don't set goals for frivolous reasons, but we set goals because they are important to us. That's why we set goals. And as you remember your purpose, as you recall your why, I want to remind you of this, that you are worth the why. You're worth the why. I know you all are listening, but can somebody just put in the chat, I am worth my why. I am worth my why. It means I'm worth this purpose. Purpose is not going to sneak up on me and say, you cast me aside, you forgot about me. No, I remember why I'm doing what I'm doing. I set that goal for a reason. I cast that vision for a reason. I set that as a standard for a reason. And I'm not lowering. I'm not compromising. I'm not changing, but I am worth my why. The reason why, Cutler, why are you doing it? Because I'm worth it. Why are you working so hard? Because I'm worth it. Why? I told you all that fax machine would go off. I'm just going to ignore that. But why do you persevere? Because I'm worth it. Why do you endure? Because I'm worth it. Why do you work so hard? Because I'm worth it. Why do you not give up? Because I'm worth it. I'm worth it. And one of the other things that I would say to us, you all, is to learn how, if you have one of those GPS systems in your vehicle like I have, sometimes mine will say recalibrating. It will say recalibrating. So as a strategy, I would encourage us, recalibrate when necessary. Doesn't mean I'm giving up. Doesn't mean I'm laying it aside, but recalibrate when necessary. Cutler, what do you mean? I mean, now that I remember my why, now that I know I am worth my why, maybe it's not the why. I got the why, but maybe it's the how. If something is not working, it might not be the why because you recognize I am worthy of this and I know I am. So if it's not the why, it just might be the how. You know how you feel when you feel like you said something really, really good. I felt that resonated with me. That resonated with me. It's not so many times that we don't find ourselves worthy or we don't want to walk according to purpose. So it's not the why always. Sometimes it's the how. What do you mean? I mean, you might want to consider a different route of getting to your goal. Don't stop, just go a different way. Sometimes we try different eating plans. Maybe the one you tried didn't work. Don't just stop altering your eating plans, just try another one. Maybe a certain time of exercise doesn't work for you. Try a different time. Maybe a particular thing that you're doing doesn't work. So it may not be the why, it might be the how. Because a lot of times we say, why am I not reaching my goal? And it's not always the why, but it is the how am I not reaching my goal? I hope this is helping somebody. So I just wanted to encourage us, don't give up. I just wanted to throw out a few strategies for how not to give up. Counteract those negative thoughts. Find somebody else who has done what you are trying to do, or at least who have done something like you're trying to do. Make sure you get a sponsor. Make sure you find an accountability partner, somebody who just won't let you give up. Somebody who you can talk to about your difficulties and your apprehensions and your fears and your weaknesses. Find an accountability partner, and then remember your purpose. Remember why you're doing what you do, and know that you're worth your why. And then if you have to, if it is not the why that's giving you the problem, but it is the how, learn to recalibrate when necessary. Sometimes you got to step back and say, let me just think this thing over again. Let me think it out. Let me re-strategize. Let me develop some new tactics, some new maneuvers. Because I don't want to give up. So I'm just trying to offer us some ways of not giving up, how not to give up. That's what this conversation is all about. May I tell you this, that achieving a goal is not always easy, you all. It is not always easy. Sometimes along the journey, I have discovered that it is normal, it is natural to want to quit. I almost wanted to scream, do I have any witnesses? But you all tell me if I'm on track. Have you ever been on a journey to achieving a goal and somewhere along that journey you wanted to quit? The time to not quit is when you feel like quitting the most. I want to say that again because I only have maybe maybe 60 seconds left. But you all, the time to not quit is when you feel like quitting the most. Nowadays, we have this saying like, go on and live your best life. But can I tell you that living your best life is refusing to give up on yourself? Living your best life is refusing to abort your goals. Living your best life is refusing to quit. Thank you, Auntie. When I say, can I get a witness? But don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your goals. And yes, live your best life. But remember when I said living your best life is refusing to give up on you. It's refusing to abort your goals. It's refusing to quit. It's refusing to stop. Learn how to motivate yourselves. Because sometimes you are not going to pick up the phone and call your accountability partner. I know human nature, you all. I could talk till I'm blue in the face, but sometimes you're going to find yourself in this area where you're not going to call your sponsor. You're not going to call your accountability partner. Thank you, Linda. Old saying is when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. Learn how to motivate yourself. And if you don't know how to motivate yourself, go back and catch a vlog that we did some time ago on how to motivate yourself. When you can't get started, there is this saying in the law whenever someone is testifying or whenever an attorney is examining someone on the witness stand, and you cannot ask and answer a question. But I want to say this to y'all because the other side will object, on the basis that, he asked and answered. But I want to tell you all this. I want to use that same phrase because nobody's going to motivate you like you. When you can't get started or you feel like quitting, do what I call ask and answer. Cutler, what do you mean? I mean, ask yourself, why is it taking me so long? What's so difficult about this? Acknowledge your resistance and your difficult feelings with getting started, with getting motivated. See, sometimes we don't like to uncover, but that is one of the things that we do here. Yes, we inspire, yes, we motivate, but we also challenge each other to take a real look at what's going on the inside. There is some resistance to my goals. There's some resistance to getting started. There's some resistance to this perseverance. There's some resistance to this tenacity. There's some resistance to the hard work. There's some resistance to persevering and keeping on going. There's some resistance. Ask yourself, acknowledge this resistance and your difficult feelings. Ask yourself, why is it so hard? Why do I keep delaying it? Why don't I do what I'm supposed to do? Why don't I do it? What is my apprehension? What is my fear? Ask. Give yourselves an answer. I got to get out of here, y'all. Then give yourself an answer. And perhaps the answer is the timing is not right. I need to find the right place. I need to find the right time. I need to find the right this. I need to find the right that. Can I tell you all this? If you're looking for the perfect opportunity, you'll never find it. If you're looking for the perfect opportunity to get started, you never will. I read something today that says, don't wait for everything to be perfect before you decide to do it. You'll never find every condition perfect. But learn to answer yourself. Sometimes you say, I'm afraid it won't work. I told you, what is the fear? I'm afraid it won't work. I'm afraid I will fail. I'm afraid someone else will see my frailties or my vulnerabilities. Face your fears. So ask the question, what's so hard? Why do I delay? Why do I put it off? Look for an answer. Look for an honest answer. I deputize us and I bring an offering to us this evening. I offer us the power to look inside and find the real answers to those questions. I'm afraid. I'm afraid it won't work. I'm afraid I'll fail. I'm afraid someone else will see me struggling. I'm afraid somebody might see my frailties. I'm afraid somebody might see my vulnerabilities. I'm talking now from a true place of really transparency. Been there. Wouldn't do it because I was afraid it would not work. Afraid that I might fail. Afraid that someone else is going to see me failing, see me weak, see me vulnerable. And I can only offer hope having been in that space, having been in that place. I know sometimes people say, Cutler, you're too transparent, but honest is what I am. I couldn't conquer my fears until I acknowledged them. I couldn't deal with them until I admitted that I had them. I hope that helps somebody with all this talking that I've done. I trust that comment, that segment is going to help somebody more than some of the other things I've said for the past 20 minutes. You will never be able to conquer your fears until you can acknowledge that you have them. You will never be able to address them. All right. I got to go, you all. It's easy to quit. It's easy to quit. But some things worth having, they are worth the pain. They are worth the endurance. They're worth the sweat. I've got sweat equity in the things that are important to me. I know I've got to go, but I've got sweat equity in the things that are important to me. And they're worth the pain, the endurance, and the sweat. They're worth the perseverance. They're worth pushing through, and they're worth the sometimes temporary discomfort, because it's not about the comfort and convenience, but it's about the success that's waiting for me. I want to thank you all. I hope you've gotten something from this conversation this evening, as we've talked about how not to give up. Thank you all so much for spending this time with me. Do me a favor, if you would. Let's keep building community. Let's maintain connectivity. Let's stay in touch. Keep your heads up. Keep your hopes up. Stay safe. Stay sane. Don't let people drive you crazy, and don't you drive anybody else crazy. Please know that from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. Thank you for keep coming back every Tuesday and Thursday when I'm here live, and just purposing in your heart that I'm coming back here because I've got to talk to Cutler. Let's keep talking. From my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. Good night, everybody.